I don't know what to say, really.
They don't give us respect, but we about to take it today. Why?
We got one of the best. You better check your reference.
One inch at a time. You find out life's this game of inches. Now, what are you gonna do?
Ice up, son. Ice up.
Yeah, man. We in this now. Here we go. Another episode, Blow the Whistle, interactive podcast, talking about sports and mental health. I'm your host, Dee and Dame therapist. Oh, man, you got Dame, not your average therapist in the building. Gotta bring some energy. Wake y'all up a little bit. Even though y'all seeing this at night, wake up. I'm pretty sure you had a long day. It's Tuesday night. Let's get it in like we always do. Taco Tuesday. Get you some tacos. It's 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock. Get you some tacos and a nice beverage to go with it. Get your feet up. And wrap a tab with us a little bit because we got a dope show going on today. Man, I got one of our viewers emailed said, why do we, it's about mental health, joy deal, like stuff. That's an interesting question. Yeah, not a weird question. Man. It's just interesting, right? Because it just goes back to the association. Something sad, reputation, depression, suicide, all those things. Right. Talking about mental health. Yeah. So we're just talking about the overall body of what we're from your mentality. Yeah. Coping strategies and all those things we talk about in this world, but it's not always what the stigma is. That's what we're doing here. Blow the Whistle is trying to erase the stigma. Yeah, you can. A feeling is happy as well. Right. It's not sad. That's one of the core feelings. Right. One of the core feelings. So we talk about hell. Why not? Why not be talk so freely? Yeah, exactly. about this subject when it's much needed. Yeah. Transparency that we've been getting, and then what we're gonna get, in a few moments here. Right. The exciting piece of Blow the Whistle. Yeah, man. Just to echo, man. It's mental health. It is a serious topic, but just like anything in life, we take life seriously, and at the same time, we can have fun while doing it. We bring a different edge, a different or a different vibe when we're talking about mental health. You know what I mean? Like you said, it's about being happy, finding that inner peace, being harmonious with, within yourself, but as well as your family, peers, society as a whole. So, we bring all those different aspects in everything that we do, just like we said every week, Blow the Whistle. Everything that we do encompasses mental health. And I try to eradicate the term mental illness, because that kind of gets you stuck in that negative connotation. So we say mental health, just like we say physical health. You know what I mean? Like our mental wellness. We can do it that way. Let's replace that I with well. You know what I mean? But again, we don't have our soapbox for today. Let's talk about our guest that we got coming on, man. Oh, awesome, man. Point blank period before we talk about anything else. But Super Bowl champ.
Gotta talk about that.
We've had a list of Super Bowl champions.
A list of Super Bowl champs.
He's adding to that. A native of, the city, Syracuse.
He got the shirt on today.
Put the shirt on today. That wasn't his alma mater, but that's his
stuff, right?
Absolutely,
yeah,
man.
Right.
So this transition from a great career, obviously, like I said, the Super Bowl, but it's been going on to your future endeavors and things that you invest your time and money in. Was an actor, so we're gonna definitely touch on that. That's gonna be our first acting on the show in 2 years.
Right,
so we're gonna touch on that transition, and I just think he has some great things to speak about. About being an advocate for mental health, how he does it.
Right.
He has something else in the business that he runs that I think really helps.
Absolutely.
With mental health, I think he'll speak on that.
We'll definitely dive into that. But that number 25 that you see in the background with Green Bay, early 2000s was like a thorn in my side. As y'all know, I'm a 49er fan, die hard. And that guy right there single-handedly, along with, a couple of other people that's on the team, not even going to mention their names. Yeah. They're irrelevant at this point.
Yeah.
I'm talking about Dorsey.
Right.
He kicked our ass personally.
They got you. Played a couple times, right?
Couple times. We got one time with Tio got the joint over the middle that, the catch too or whatever. But besides that, but we're going to put that to the side because we're going to talk about mental health. We're going to talk about Mr. Dorsey Levens today and what he got going on. And we're going to make a fun conversation.
It's ready.
Hey, let's bring him on in.
Gentlemen, what's good?
Doris, what's going on?
How you doing?
Hey, what's up, man? Appreciate y'all.
Yeah.
How's everything been, man? It's been a while, man. You look great. How's everything been going for you?
Man, can't complain, man. Just like everybody else, trying to adjust to life's post-COVID. I can't even say post-COVID. I think we're still in the middle of it. Man, but I can't complain. Life is good.
What's been the transition? Obviously we were telling the audience and the viewers that you're a former Super Bowl, champion, who's been out the league, not too long ago, but long enough that you had a pretty successful transition. What's been going on with Dorsey Levens, man? How's that transition been going? Obviously, this is a platform that we speak about mental health with our sports figures. And so we let the audience know about the similarities and commonalities that we have, globally, as far as, our mental health and our mental levels. How was yours and how did you do that transition?
For me, it was just really just trying to find something I was passionate about, something that I love to do, something I enjoy doing. And then doing a lot more of that, in this day and age too, doing something, that you love that you can monetize, you know what I'm saying? So it doesn't seem like work. So, man, with that being said, I got my own spin company down here. I'm a spin instructor, trying to stay active with these old bones and aches and pains. So that's part of it. As you guys mentioned earlier, I was doing some acting at one point in time, still doing a little bit here and there, but not as much as I had hoped to do. But that's pretty much it, man. Being a parent, I got a 20-year-old daughter who's in college studying theater at UMass Boston. I got a little 7-year-old boy who's a football fanatic, so I'm trying to work through that. But man, life is good. Life is good for me. I can't complain.
Wow, awesome. So Doris, let's take it back a little bit and talk about upbringing, and how that shaped pretty much your perspective on society, but also how you've been able to manage your own emotional and mental health as well as physical health. And growing up in Syracuse, what were your influences and what was your social support looking like growing up in upstate New York?
Man, I had a lot of support from my family. I got a big family, man. My grandmother on my mother's side had 12 kids. My dad's mom had 8 kids. you know, and I had, you know, aunts and uncles and cousins. And it was always like when I had a game, it was like a family affair. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody in the family showed up. So I always had a lot of support. You know, Syracuse is a melting pot. You know, well, it was when I was growing up. It's a lot different now than it was when I grew up. But, you know, I went to Nottingham High School, which is not far from where Dee played over at SU. But man, it was cool, man. You know, it wasn't like it was today where all the division, you know, divisiveness, you know, it was just, I went to school with all nationalities. Everybody got along. It wasn't no problems. There was no racism. There was no beef. Everything was cool, man. Syracuse was a nice small town to grow up in. The crime was not nearly as bad as it is now. Still hoping to try to get that under control. But yeah, man, it was a good place to be. You know what I mean? I guess in part two of your question, you know, I think for me, the mental and physical health part of it they go hand in hand, right? I've always maintained or always believed that, you know, being strong mentally also involves being strong physically for me anyway. So for me, working out is a way to clear my head, you know, and to make me feel better. For me, it's at this point, it's more mental than it is physical, you know, just getting out and moving around a lot. But the mental health side of it really, man, I started when I was in Green Bay. You know, obviously there's not a whole lot to do outside of football. I've always been an avid reader, man. So I've always been reading like self-help books or like mental training books and stuff like that. So that's kind of where I got into this mind frame where I am right now, as far as mental health and trying to help people not stress as much, you know, and live a happier, healthier life.
Man, that's cool, man. Yeah, I want to piggyback on you mentioning you know, where you grew up is not, you know, wasn't a lot necessarily to do. It's kind of the same like how it is in Green Bay. Then you move and kind of settle into one of the hottest cities on the East Coast, you know, and you get into a place, you have a business where I'm sure I can safely assume, I think that a lot of people use the spin for the same purposes. It helps them to kind of decompress as you express, you use for working out. Like, have you witnessed that? Have you heard testimonies of how things like that is being used? I want the viewers to kind of really understand when you said the mental and the body is kind of intertwined. Mm-hmm. So that's how you approach it, because there's some that want to do that and just kind of not, you know, it's not linked. The understanding is that it's not as clear.
Yeah, man. So I forget which medical study it was, but man, it says over 70% of Americans are taking prescription drugs for either stress or stress-related illnesses. Right. You know, and the other 30%, there's no telling, you know, what they do to self-medicate or you know, just whatever you do to make it through your day. So with that being said, exercise relieves stress. You know what I mean? It releases, I forget what it releases, but it makes you feel better, you know, as a person. And obviously, and two, you know, we're getting older, you know, so especially a lot of us older football players, we tend to gain weight if we're not active, you know, so that's always been a big part of that, man. Because a lot of times your body will reflect what your mental state is, you know what I mean? And that's a whole nother story, but it's just, I've had testimony after testimony. You know, I was teaching at one point in an infrared sauna, basically. So I had a lot of people losing like 30, 40 pounds, man. And what that does is it lifts your self-esteem. You know, when you feel better about yourself, you can be a better person, right? You know, because usually people who are in a bad mood constantly, there's something about themselves that they don't like and they want to change and they can't change it. So, you know, that part of it has always been big for me, you know, especially to help, like I said earlier, to help clear my head, you know, and like you said, the testimonials from people not only losing weight, but what it does to their psyche or their mentality, because they feel better about themselves.
Absolutely. Totally agree. And like you were saying, Dorsey, like it releases those chemicals, that serotonin, that dopamine, those endorphins that gives you that feel good or that euphoric feeling when you're doing something physical. That's why you felt great when you were playing ball. You know what I mean? Or when you're cycling, or you're walking, or you're just playing outside with the kids. It's more so of a release. It's a natural antidepressant that's released in our brains when we're doing something physical. So that's usually one of my go-to coping skills interventions that I teach my clients to utilize on a regular basis. And just work out, just get more active. That Place 60 is really something that's really significant. Do something every day for 30 to 60 minutes, and you can tell the difference automatically. And I'm not saying that medications don't work, and of course, but we have natural healers within our body. Like Dorsey's saying, like when you're doing these things and being active, you're reducing that stress level, which ultimately reduces physical health symptoms, high blood pressure, heart attacks, diabetes, all these different things that can impact us physically just based on our thought process and our stress level.
And that's what he was speaking of, how it's intertwined.
Right, absolutely.
Like say, feel better.
Yeah.
Focus to complete that physical task. When it's done, there's a mental victory as well. So I definitely agree with what both you guys are saying, and how we should, definitely make that a focus of our lives. But what about population of leadership that can't do that? How do we advise, that group, what to do to have that mental release just as well?
So Dorsey, what other coping mechanisms you use now outside of spinning, which probably takes up a lot of your time and just managing and being an entrepreneur that you are? What are some other natural coping skills that you do on a regular basis to keep yourself centered?
Man, really, with a lot of prayer and a lot of meditation, man. You know what I mean? Just really first thing in the morning when I get up, first thing I do is hit my knees, and usually the second thing I do is I got, the Calm app. I'll do a quick 10-minute meditation, and then I'll read. Always, I got to read for like 30 minutes to an hour every day, because your mental health is the most important part of your life, right? So if you don't have your head right before your day comes, it could be a long day, and just and really just, man, just being honest with yourself. A lot of us, when we have bad days, it kind of throws us in the tank, and maybe we get depressed and things aren't going the way we hope. But that's part of life, man. Life is not always going to be great. There's going to be some challenges. There's going to be some obstacles. There's going to be some problems. The thing is, how are you going to maneuver through it? You know what I mean? And having that conversation, my mental health company, it's not, I don't even consider it mental health, more so than I call it mindset training. And it's called Remind. So a lot of the stuff, man, that we already know, we just have to remind ourselves daily, because we forget about how mentally strong we are. So the biggest thing is just get up, remind yourself that you got this. Even through the bad days or the bad times, you're still going to be good. Just keep put one foot in front of the other and keep moving. But sometimes we forget how resilient we are, and then we have a problem, and then it throws us in a whirlwind of depression or whatever it is, and we can't function. You know what I mean? So the biggest thing is, man, just having the right mindset for life, and just knowing that life is a roller coaster. It's going to be good sometimes, it's going to be bad sometimes, but either way, you're going to be good.
Right. And so it's interesting you said that, because we've had a guest who famously says, get comfortable with being uncomfortable. And what you speak of is adaptation as well, like just being able to adapt to the things of life, the ups and downs, the ebbs and flows, the hurdles that come, the lows and the highs. And the strong ones mentally are the ones who favorably will be able to do that successfully. And so I get the same message when I hear you speak of, adapting. So that's good word.
Yeah, man. It's just, indeed, we speak the same language. It's like a football game, right? You practice all week, you plan, and you hope that things are going to go a certain way. But them guys on the other side of the football, they nice too. You know what I'm saying? So things don't always go according to plan. So what do? You have to adjust. You just like on the sideline or at halftime, you go in and you make adjustments as a team. It's the same thing in life, man. We all have plans. that don't go according to plan. You know, when I left Syracuse, man, my plan was literally to go to Notre Dame, win the Heisman Trophy after 3 years, leave early, and be a top 10 pick. Didn't work out like that. You know what I mean? Not even close, actually, but it did work out. You know what I mean? I kept the focus, which was football. I love playing football, so I just thought that was always the focus. And at one point in time, I was like, man, I'm not even going to the league. Like I played flanker my junior year at Georgia Tech. I'm like, I'm a running back. I'm not a wide receiver. You know what I mean? But what that did do for me though, is helped me become a better pass catcher in the NFL. You know what I mean? That 1 year, obviously I got moved back to running back my senior year at Georgia Tech, and things changed. But I had to adjust, man. I graduated before I got drafted because I didn't think I was going to the league my junior year. I'm like, yo, I'm gonna have to get a job. So I buckled down with school, you know, made sure I was focused. So, you know, I love being in Atlanta. I still live here. And I'm like, you know, if I got a degree from Georgia Tech, which is in downtown Atlanta, I can get a pretty good job because we got a gang of alumni here. So that was my mindset. But it goes back to what you said earlier, D. You have to adjust. You know, whatever life throws your way, you got to adjust. There are no guarantees. Life is not fair. Things aren't going to go according to plan, but you put one foot in front of the other, like I said, and you keep moving forward.
Now talking about those ups and downs, Dorsey. Once you got to the 5th round pick, you know that you're still in there, but it's still not guaranteed. You bust your ass, you work hard, you do all those things, make the team Super Bowl champion, Pro Bowl, all these things, and then this whole thing in 99, 2000. You know, one of the favorite games ever was Madden. And starting that season, you know, you were on a high. And then that season you got hurt. Can you tell us about the mental part of that, of being hurt for an extended period of time, and the resiliency that you had to have in order to rebound from that?
It's frustrating, man. It's frustrating, especially that, you know, the year when I broke my leg, I just signed a big contract. You know, and as athletes, you always hear what people are saying and what the media is saying. And people are like, he only had one good year. He doesn't deserve that kind of money. So my biggest thing was, let me go out here and prove that I can still ball. And then I go out, you know, get my leg broken and can't do that. That was the most frustrating thing, obviously, was sitting on the sideline, not being able to prove that I could still play. I did come back that season. Like you said, we lost to your boys, the 49ers, when T.O. caught that last second pass. But I did kind of get healthy toward the end of the season. I remember there was I want to say it was on NFL Films maybe, but they did a special on that game. And it talked about how me and Garrison Hurst just went back and forth. But even then, I wasn't 100% healthy. I remember it was a 3rd and 1 or I think it was a 3rd and 1, man. And I broke it out. I got into the secondary, but I couldn't hit that next gear to get into the end zone because my leg wasn't still completely healthy. But that was the biggest thing, man. Just not being able to play and be 100% and go out there and do what I knew I was capable of doing.
Now, speaking of Notre Dame, you spoke of, you didn't know this. Can you tell me the list of running backs that he had to compete against?
Yeah, so our running back room, man.
Check this out.
Yeah, so it was Ricky Waters, Jerome Bettis, Rocket Ismail played a little bit of tailback, Tony Brooks, Reggie Brooks, Rodney Culver, Anthony Johnson. All these guys went to the league. So Jeff Burris and Willie Clark also came in as running backs, but they moved to defense. Jeff was a 1st-round pick for the Bills. Willie Clark was a 3rd-round pick from the Bears and played safety. So in my running back room, there was, in the 2 years I was there were 11 of us in the room. 10 of us went to the league. So talent wasn't a problem. And now, you know, it's crazy because I had won the starting job at tailback at the end of spring ball. I killed in my freshman year. I finally figured out that I could play with them boys, you know, because you don't know until you know. Yeah. You know what I mean? You can have all the confidence in the world, but until you get out there and do it, you just don't know. So I went out there, man, and it's crazy. So I won the starting job heading into my sophomore year. I was at Coinfield, D, working out. I was doing 100-yard striders with like, I forget what the regimen was, like maybe like 30 seconds rest. Anyway, something happened in my knee. It swelled up. I had to have surgery. I was going to miss the season. I was going to miss like 7 or 8 games. And Lou Holtz was our coach. And he was like, yo, listen, we're going to need you late in the season. I'm like, nah, not really. I mean, we stacked. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, let me redshirt. So he goes, we don't redshirt. So the policy at Notre Dame is, in order to get a fifth year, you have to apply for a fifth year. They just don't give it to you. But me being a smart ass 19-year-old, I was like, oh, that's funny. How come we got 5 fifth-year seniors on the team? His next words out of his mouth was, you know what? Your road to get back on the field is going to be probably a lot longer than you're willing to wait. That's why I left. You know what I mean? I'm like, I heard you ain't going to play.
Right.
So I bounced. But it worked out. That was my whole Notre Dame experience. And it's crazy because last week, so this is the 25th. Y'all said earlier, it seems like I've only been out of the league for a few years. This is the 17th season I've been out of the league this year right here. Yeah, so it's been a minute. So this year is the 25th anniversary of us winning Super Bowl 31. And there were a bunch of Notre Dame guys that were on that team, a couple of guys that I played with. So we had a good time, talking about how it was there. And I was telling them, because who'd they lose to? They lost to Cincinnati. And I was like, y'all lost. And they were like, what you mean, y'all? I was like, yeah, I only claim y'all when y'all win. When y'all lose, it's y'all, right? But it was it's crazy. I haven't been back, man. When I left, I've not been back. And they were telling me how much it changed. The whole stadium and the campus and everything. But I will go back eventually. But I haven't been back yet.
Cool. Well, Doris, man, what can you share with the audience as far as your business? I definitely want to give big ups to it. I follow you. I tell you, you inspire me. I don't know if you follow on Instagram, but if you don't, ladies and gentlemen, we'll definitely get it to you. But I'm going to give you the platform right now to kind of, talk and kind of tell us, what do you have going on? How can we support?
Right. So I'm here in Atlanta. I do teach spin class 3 times a week. I got my own company called Solar Cycle. Right now I'm at the Epicenter, which is west of Atlanta. Actually, it's right next door to Six Flags, if you're familiar with Atlanta. So it's not really in the city. I think I'm going to move. I'm looking to make some moves a little closer to the city real soon. So stay posted. But the biggest thing I'm doing right now is my mindset training program, Remind, the School of Life. Like I said, really, it's all about changing your perspective or changing the way we think. Or actually even just the first step is just being aware of what we think and then asking yourself why you thinking what you're thinking. Because usually if you get emotional, that's because of something you're thinking, right? You don't get mad for no reason. You don't get happy for no reason. If you're happy, you're thinking about something that makes you happy. So the biggest thing is being aware of what you're thinking and then controlling your thoughts, because as your thoughts go, your life goes. Everything starts up here and then your body follows. So when you get the mindset, the mental part of it right, then your life should fall into order according to it should look a lot more like you want it to look, and not just being all over the place and not being sure of what your purpose in life is or which direction you want to go. You'll have all that stuff in order, but like I said, it all starts in the mind, and one of the biggest things, man, is controlling what you can control. That's so many times, there's we worry about things, we're anxious about things that we have no control over. One of the things I don't do is watch the news, because it's all bad news. And if you watch the news, you would think the world is going to hell in a handbasket like tomorrow. Right? But there's a lot of good things going out there, but we focus on the negative so much.
Wow.
And we have to be careful, because you get what you focus on, whether you want it or not. Right? So what do you focus? Where's all your attention going? And not only that, is your focus going to help you move forward in life? A lot of times we don't focus on what's important. We focus on things that have nothing to do with where we want to go in life, but it's more so of a distraction. Social media is one thing. A little bit of time on social media is cool, but if you're spending like 3-4 hours a day on there, if that's not the job you want in the social media lane, you need to be doing something that's going to help you move forward in life. So it's just it's all about mindset and just getting your head right, basically, and doing the things that you enjoy, that you love doing. Just like you guys, you're doing a podcast. Obviously, you enjoy doing it. I see you got the jerseys in the background. You're doing a great job. Doing more of the things that you love to do.
That's right.
Absolutely.
Well, we definitely want to keep using this platform, man, to be advocates for mental health and however we can get it.
Yes.
And we, many guests come from different waves of the mental health field, and you come from another. And so, not first, but want to thank you again, man, just for your transparency and your openness to share what you just shared. I was about to interrupt and say, man, you taking over the show.
My bad.
That's what we want. And
Right.
spitting jewels, man, we appreciate that because it is very important.
Right.
So, where they say where your mind goes, your body will follow it. So I believe that as well. And we can work on that aspect.
Mm-hmm.
I think, a lot of things in our life we won't worry about that we can't control, as you just said. So,
Yes.
Doris, I definitely am hearing you, and I know those who are watching are hearing you as well. We appreciate that.
You got it, man.
Definitely dropping some whistle-blowing moments. We normally would have our whistles, and every time you drop a jewel, Dorsey, we would blow it. But we didn't want to interrupt this flow because it was so awesome. But
All right, looking forward to it.
Doris, we appreciate you, man. Check them out. What is your handles for your Instagrams? If you have a Twitter, what are your social media handles so our viewers can follow you?
Yeah, Instagram is Dorsey Levens 25. My old one, Dorsey_Levens, was hacked, so I guess that's gone. It's still up, but I don't have access to it. So Dorsey Levens 25. Twitter, the same thing. Facebook, I already got 5,000 friends, so I can't get no more. But yeah, that's it, man. That's it.
Gotcha.
Well, make sure if y'all in the Atlanta area, make sure y'all check out one of his spin classes. I tried it one time and I almost died. So I definitely know it's a workout. So make sure if y'all in the Atlanta surrounding areas, make sure y'all drop in out at Dorsey. Tell them Dee and Dame since you come go with some podcasts, And again, appreciate you, Dorsey, for stopping by and showing out.
Yeah, Dame, D, man, keep up the good work. I appreciate it. It's a great show, man. Yeah, keep doing what you're doing.
All right, appreciate you.
All right, y'all. Peace.
Okay. Man, season 2, man. It's, like when you do something or you see something or you hear something that's so nice, you just get that stink face, like.
Yeah, sometimes I feel like I just stuck. I just be listening. I be forgetting we're hosting this show.
Yeah. Like this,
we be talking some real stuff, so you just get caught up in them. There's nothing wrong with that.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Yeah. Season 2, we're on fire up in here. Dorsey Levens, you see him in the background. You heard him, dropping.
Mr. Green Bay, Mr. Spin. All of that, man.
We didn't get, even though he briefly discussed the acting bug that he did talk. He was on some, it wasn't like he was on no Chitlin circuit.
He was on Tyler Perry joint.
Some Tyler Perry joint. So, that was pretty dope. That's pretty dope. So definitely shout out to Dorsey. Appreciate you coming on, boss. Even though you're a Green Bay Packer, I let that slide because good guy. If my bro vouch for you, then that means you're a good guy. You maybe don't go with some podcast, that means you're an awesome person.
You were neatly selected.
Absolutely. Absolutely, man. So make sure y'all go, again, every week. We dropping them. No better podcast, no better mental health podcast. I ain't gonna say sports.
Subscribe.
That's it. Just click. Subscribe. It's going to pop up. Please go and subscribe, like, comment, share. We ain't where our potential where we need to be at right now, you know what I'm saying? It's up here. But we're going to need you guys. So make sure that y'all subscribe, like, and share our stuff, man.
Blow the whistle.
Hey, man.
I'm back in that next Tuesday, 8 o'clock. Here we go. 2 Dope Black Thursdays.
Facebook, IG, You too. You got so many ways to catch us. Catch the vibe, man. Purple Influence. We out.